What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here, welcoming you to Empire 101. So as we saw last time, we had, well, too many a battle to count. Well, okay, 3, but plenty of battles. Grimgor, Imric, and the Demon Prince in a nice little duel with with Boris there. And all of those went successful and gave us a lovely little Sigmarmas celebration. Sigmarversary, whatever. Now we are in a new turn, and obviously once again I've done all of the admin, or at least the admin that matters, or doesn't, right, no, the admin that doesn't matter so much, rather, because I keep the interesting admin, as in moving the armies and such, to the actual episode. Now let's begin in order. I guess, Karl, you need to move to the volcano's heart, but unfortunately it looks like you can't actually reach it. Oh, well, isn't that a shame? But what can you do? Can either of you reach the Tower of Flies from here? Looks like also going to be a no, eh? None of you? What about Wulfric and Barogan? Ah, looks like you can travel a lot further than they can. I wonder why. Do you perhaps have you don't have a messenger? So why can you travel further than an all-mounted army? Huh. Wait, you've lost half of your movement range. You have not lost any of your movement range, but you still can't reach us. Surprising, but not super important. Alright, Wulfric and Barogan, I guess that's your job now. You're gonna head out to there, and we're going to reinforce you with a few of these other armies in a second, unless you can take this on your own. Pyrrhic victory. Okay, no, you can't take that on your own, buddy. It's okay, we'll deal with you in a second. Karl, I guess you're moving to the volcano's heart, but you're gonna do so in camp stance, and we will trade away the crystal spires, or rather, I'll trade away the crystal spires between some other episodes. Now, Alberic, I guess you're gonna have to move in march stance. Ooh, I am worried about one thing, though. All right, we'll see. I have an idea about this. You're gonna move in march stance here. We can still take Tower of Flies. This isn't a capital, is it? No, it's not. And Maternus, you're going to want to land as well. You could actually move close. Do we want you to suffer attrition? I think it'll be fine, because the Forest of Decay... Damn, computer keeps lagging because there's so much stuff on the map. You'll have to go for a turn or 2 turns here anyway, so it won't matter if you take a little bit of damage. So, auto-resolve this. Now we should suffer no damage, or at least no significant damage, like this. Alright, there we go. Little bit of damage on you, but you shouldn't be destroyed, and that's fine. Okay. I had an idea about swapping units between the armies, but it looks like even that's not going to be necessary. Alberic, you have some rewards. Wulfric as well. A Hunter, a Seed of Rebirth. Not a bad pickup for a basic item or a common item. The rest of you, just to double check, won't be able to enter the territory, but that's okay. You can suffer a little bit of attrition and then get it back. Alberic, do we need to? Yes, we do. So, you're General of the Empire with Tough. You are going to get the Watch to buff up all of these guys, which is what we've been waiting for. You already have Honest Steel, but you don't have Pistol Core, so that's the next thing. There we go. These guys should be considerably stronger because of it. We could also have you suffer attrition instead and move Alberic into the Tower of Flies if we really wanted to, because you're a temporary army and not as important. There we go, that's better. Granted, Alberic's army is a follower army, but nonetheless. Karl's still gonna grab the Volcano's Heart, because, well, it's gonna be difficult for anybody but Karl to grab the Forest of Decay. Anyway, let's continue in order, or such order as we can get you. And go here. Sunken Chest, I guess, a Potion of Toughness. Not that you need that, because you're not a real... Well, not so much not a real army, but... you don't need to actually be anywhere. There are other islands at sea, like over here, so I guess you're gonna go out there. And then we'll go whoever needs to move next. Well, from Custerman, yes, you were going to go for the Lost Palace, together with the with this little army belonging to Luther Grubber. You two can move together. Why did you stop? What the heck? Huh, well, that's weird. His, that's very strange. It's not important, though. Something did something to his movement range. Obviously, this is a minor settlement, and we don't need to really deal with it, so we'll move you in. And we'll auto-resolve this as well. Alright, nobody will die by the looks of it, and they damn well shouldn't against the basics. Occupy. The bum rush strategy is proceeding as planned. Wound time recovery, hedge wizard, another student. Very, very nicely. We're actually out of heroes to make use of them on. Then, we'll want you to land at Volol tracks, and if you can auto-resolve it, then auto-resolve it. Yes, but don't occupy it. Auto-resolve it, and then sack it. And the reason for this is that we've told Teclis to occupy Volol tracks. We don't want this territory at all. So we'll just use Peter to take the Skull Carver's abode and whatever else is left here. Wait. Oh, there's a bunch more. Oh, I guess we'll need to move these guys down that way, as there will probably be a hard target as well. And frankly, I love Peter, I really do, but his army is not meant for sieges, generally speaking. Anyway, Volki, you're gonna go up here to the Demon's Gate, and Arndt Frankenwerter, you're going to follow along. Looks like you won't be able to fully regenerate by the time we get there, but we should still be able to take it, as we have done so before. Where's Tic Tac going, I wonder? Oh, looks like there's an army out at sea here. Well, good for Tic Tac. Let's see, who's up next? Bernhard von Zanger. You are... oh, you have completed the recruitment of this follower army. I actually no longer remember whose follower army this was going to be. It wasn't yours because you have one. I guess we could send it up north to follow Gavin around if we really need to, or we could just leave it here and continue recruiting stuff and then maybe get another army together. You know what, I did want an army that was just like a pile of demigriffs. We could do that sort of thing just for fun. We've already had plenty of the halberdier types, but we don't have a lot of the lance types. Why not have a bunch of lance demigriffs in an army? 8 of them, and then we'll see what we want to do for the main line. Since we have a couple of great swords here, we could do that. Not that we need these, mind you, and they're going to cost, but at the same time, it's not like we have any money problems. Bernard, just stay here. We'll swap this follower army to another general of the Empire when we're ready. Nud van Hasselt. You need to go to the Volary, which you can't reach in one go, but you can go out here, heal up to full, and then kill the Volary next round. So you just sit here. Leopold, you're going to quickly grab Dragon's Death for us. Maybe we should have gone with an extra little mini lord to do that for us last turn, but oh well. Occupy this, and then next turn we can trade it away. Free Scribe, faction destroy the Dolgan. Hopefully no one brings them back again for a second time. You can briefly go into State Troop Levy or Council. It doesn't matter. We're going to trade this to the Kislevites. Alrighty, now we will still need Nud to take the Volary, I think, then to move down here and destroy Grimgor, because somebody has to do it, while Leopold, I guess, will hold the Volary against Village while he comes back, and then we'll move the two together down to deal with Village. Otherwise, I guess we continue to move. Who else is moving today? Nud, that was you. Kurt, you, where were you going? Now, you can't land at the Bilious Cliffs, unfortunately. Oh, hello, Malus. Hello, Malus. Can we... You're in March stance. This is not a stance that you want to be in. 2 things. We have our last Teutogan Guard available, so what we could do is take the Great Swords out of this... Nah, but we don't need the Great... Well, you know what? They still share the same buffs. Take the Great Swords. Like so. And then you are going to get to your last Teutogan Guard. And hey, we have another Eldred's Guard available as well. Didn't realize that either. Okay, we'll deal with you in a second, Eldred's Guard. Ah, there we go. Very nice. That's a nice little army for Boris, a nice legendary army. The Eldred's Guard is supposed to go into one of these armies, namely yours. I guess we can transfer to ferry you. Or do we even keep the crossbows in here? Do they serve any purpose here? Any real purpose? Not really. We could replace them with more Hellblasters and more artillery pieces. This is Gelt's followers after all. I think we can do better. Recruit your Eldred's Guard, and you know what? Maybe this army would be a decent option for a unit of Bordermen. Honestly, this army is starting to look good enough to actually function on its own, and I'm getting sorely tempted to actually give it a wizard of its own. Anyway, that was the moves, but Kurt Haldenstrad did not actually move, so if we can't hit the Bilious Cliffs with you, I guess we could go up to it, or we could sail on down the coast and go for Varg Camp with you instead, while these guys continue moving up. Maybe that's the way to do it. I will consider it. Especially since you can't land. Alright, fine. You're gonna go this way. We will... Oh, but I do want to land somebody at Bilious Cliffs. But anyway, for now you're fine. Champion Ludwig Schwarzhelm. You're still waiting for Owen to transfer you the stuff. So you're gonna go like right here. And one turn, and then we got one more. But we're nearly there. We'll obviously... Oh, I could have put the other borderman unit in your army. Well, then I guess we would have had to get rid of some halberdiers, and we don't want to do that because of the Altdorf Company of Honor, so not so much. What was I saying? We could, I guess, temporarily... Nah, his army's fine. He can fight in the endgame scenario when we reach it. I was just thinking where exactly he would find a foe, as in get there in time. Helmut Feuerbach. Now, you want to do several things. Can you hit this place, is the question. You can sail out here, but I'm not 100% sure whether you can or you can't. I would, however, want to move everybody else into Sportia. You should be able to... Wait, whether you're in March stance or not, let me see. You should be able to approach the Galleon's Graveyard either way. Alright, so you're gonna go right here. I hope I don't screw this up. I really hope I do. I can't quite tell where exactly the Galleon's Graveyard is, as opposed to the... Like, which circle is the graveyard, and which circle is the... Oh, this is the enemy army, and this is the graveyard? Try this. Alright, I'm just gonna hope that I didn't screw this up. And you stopped moving, huh? But it looks like you're still able to land. Okay, so we will fight this. I just want to get them into position first and then continue moving. You have a lot of artillery, and thus, since you have on a steel for those demigriffs, Imperial Gunnery is the thing you're going for next. I will keep you around as well. Let's get you Foe Seeker, and then I guess these guys, well, frankly, their buffs don't matter that much, but Potion of Healing, and we were probably going to save, well, Enemy of the Undead will be completely useless, won't it? So Accusation, Bloody Blade, and Elusive for you, and then I guess the same thing for all of you. Accusation, not Acquisition. Close, though. And lastly, Bloody Blade, Potion of Healing, fantastic. Then we will want you to land right here. And tech Galleon's Graveyard? Yes, indeed. Alright, we will fight this, because it'll be a big old fight, and it'll be the first fight for Helmut Feuerbach. Fantastic. Next up, let's move everybody else around first, so that we know exactly what we're doing. Bert Haldenstrat is good. Balthazar Gelt, you are up next, and can you reach anything? You can reach Ruin's End, or you can go for the Bone Gulch. You know what, I think we can send your follower army to get the Bone Gulch and move up this way, and then you can, yeah, let's do that. Go here. Let's hope that you can auto-resolve Ruin's End without us having to intervene. Alright, go. It looks to be, yeah, it looks like a garbage garrison. Auto-resolve? Fantastic. No damage, essentially. And Occupy, and obviously this is another place that we will trade away, and by we, I mean I will, between the episodes. Follower armies, you may as well move. Aldebrosmeyer, can you get to this? Nah, alas. You cannot, but that's fine. You can go into or stay in our own territory. But in camp, you, for whatever reason, are unable to switch, You're unable to switch stances. You know what? Go to the Fortress of Vorag by yourself. Maybe you can global or even local recruit some stuff. If you're going to be a follower army, maybe you can actually be of use. And then we can trade all this away after. Unless we really want to build the little landmark at the Fortress of Vorag. Not that I think it'll be all that useful to us at the current time. Anyway, who else needs to move? That was Aldebras. Volkmar, I have moved you earlier. Marcus Wolfhart. Yes, you're waiting for Roderick, and we should probably get him into your army, but he's still got a bit of a ways to go. You could go for the Chamber of Visions, but I think we're just going to slowly march up, because I wouldn't want to get surprised by Rakarth. This army has it's been through the ringer already. Oh, speaking of that army, do we yet have available something good from the dwarfs, specifically Ironbreakers? No from you, and it's not like we have the allegiance with you anyway. And what about you? No, still no Ironbreakers. What about Eatane? We could get a White Lion. How 53 until we can get a until we can get a Phoenix Guard, so that's not gonna fly either, damn it. I just want something tanky for that particular army. In Northern Provinces, we could get some Celestial Dragon Guard. Once again, I don't feel it. Western Provinces? Nope. I was looking for Terracotta Warriors, or Terracotta Sentinels, rather, and alas, we don't have those either. Heralds of Ariel, not gonna be super useful to us either. Wait, what about Vidrioth? Treekin, do we have Treekin available? No, Vidrioth can't build anything of that nature, just elves. And while Great Stag Knights are strong, they're not going to hold a line for us. Yeah, I don't think any of that is going to work out. Nobody else can really give us what we need. Well, a shame, but, well, it is what it is. We'll recruit you something. Honestly, at this point, I feel like maybe we should just recruit him some Demigryph Knights, and that'll be that. Just use them as tanks, since nothing else is available from our allies. I just wanted ally units. Anyway, let's destroy Clan Ferric, Reichsmarschall. Attack the Pillar of Skulls and Heinz Weber. I believe we can finally delete you, assuming that there's nothing here. And there is nothing there. Auto-resolve it. And occupy it. Fantastic. Alright. Another student, or two other student. Faction destroyed, and you can just sit here. Heinz Weber. You've been your deletion has been a long time coming, my friend.
Praise Sigmar.
We just don't need you here anymore, and then all this will be traded away once we move out of this place, since we don't want to suffer attrition. Fantastic. Alrighty, so that was Kurt Helborg. Who's up next? We're making headway, at least. Marcus Wolfhart, that was you. Kurt Lehman, we checked. That was Helborg. Helborg. Gavin, you want to move to the Monolith of Catan. And we want you to just sit outside it. Henry Albrecht. I'm gonna move you there as well. Now, we can't fight this, obviously. What we want is for them to sally out and attack us, wherein we might be able to take them on. I'm not entirely sure, but, well, it'll be Gavin's do or die moment. You go right here. Together. It's the war wagons that are critical for this defense, because they can actually knock out those war mammoths, whereas the rest of the army cannot. Let's just in case level everybody up, because, well, if these guys have to fight that, it's gonna be a toughie. Get your Mighty Forge for those war wagon buffs, even if they ain't a lot. And are you able to globally recruit like this? Yes, you are. In fact, if they don't sally out, get a couple more war wagons. Can't have too many war wagons, people. You have the Vanguard finally available, which is what we want. Yes, and that's going to be very nice. Missile resistance and reload time. And wait, we don't have rally, do we? Oh, no, everything else is fine. Okay. I just want a few more points, but that's fine. You have Piercing Bolts of Burning and Flamestorm. None of that, frankly, is going to be all that crazy useful in terms of the... in terms of this particular type of battle. I think we want Earthing more than anything, just so that you don't miscast kill yourself. We do have plenty of mana in this particular army, after all. Anyway, that was Gavin, and now we're gonna have to find him in this list once more. I really wish that you could, like, click a unit, and then it would automatically go down to the list. Alright, Boris, yes, you have finally been reached. Alright, so let's level you up and let's see if we can't hit Malus, shall we? First of all, you have Speed of Horse, which is for the Knights. We also have Biting Cold. Get you hard to hit for your personal combat prowess. Or we could start moving you through either the Knightly Orders or through the Vanguard. I wish the missile resistance was for the army, not for the... infantry only. Yeah, by the looks of it, only Military Heritage and Knightly Orders would be useful for you, but frankly, we're maybe better off going for Speed of Horse just so we could access the other stuff in the tree, so Speed of Horse for now. And I guess we'll level up your minions as well, because who knows, Malus might give us a pretty tough fight. Sarkhan form especially is going to be very difficult to bring down. I guess we're just going to go for the Demigryphs here. The defensive stuff I don't really care about, and frankly the officer squad might not really fit in with the rest of the army. This will at least allow you to lead those Knights of the White Wolf and make you stronger as well. Let's get to you Dwarforged Plate, I think, make you a little bit stronger. Plus I like the Demigryph mount. Alrighty, then we got the Amber Wizard, who still does not have his own Imperial Griffin, but, well, Sigmar willing. one more level, so we're nearly there. And I get you evasion as well, because soon you'll actually be thrust into combat. Soul Fire, and that's all we can do for you, but that is a very nice pickup. Now let's see if we can reach Mr. Malus. He has moved into a very unfortunate position, let's say, where he is. And yes, we are in range. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Should be a nice little fight. I don't imagine he has too much of a chance because of the march stance, but I've been surprised before. And the little Grom is also terrible at the sniping of enemy artillery, so we're going to have to consider that as well. Here we go.
It will be done!
Alrighty, here we are again, and it looks like the time of TODBRINGER is upon us. The Tod has finally been brought. As last episode we got a battle and it looked against Baronair Chimerax, and it looks like we'll be getting a battle against Malus in this one as well. A couple legendary lords for Boris to have faced down, as well as his army. They will have been there as well. Now we'll see how effective they will be against the Dark Elves. This is certainly going to be interesting by virtue of the fact that the enemy has a massive amount of range superiority due to both of their Reaper Bolt Throwers as well as those Dark Shards and Shades and Black Arc Corsairs. In fact, most of the enemy army, with the exception of the Doomfire Warlocks, are ranged. There's also a lot of Doomfire Warlocks. I wasn't expecting to see that many, but I guess seeing how there are Shades and Doomfire Warlocks here, it does seem like they would work fairly well, kind of similar to the army Morathi is using in my own Malekith campaign. But anyway, once again, I digress. We're going to start the battle off by having our single artillery piece, a little Grom, try to do a little bit of damage to the enemy artillery pieces, though it's not the best artillery piece to try this, and every shot that misses is really unfortunate. I actually don't think that particular shot was a miss, however, as the first, several shots did basically nothing, and I decided to switch to firing on the Masters. These things I mean the little Groms are much better off used to fire at units like this than failing to do any damage to artillery crews. Although sadly it does mean that this particular army has nothing in the way of an ability to get rid of enemy artillery. At least not via range, but they do have charge the enemy and kill them in melee option, which is always the preferred option for an Ulrichite. Anyway, the Swords of Ulrich are going to lead the charge as they do because, well, they're a summoned unit, but also because they feel like they should. The rest of the army is going to follow suit. I figured we send in the summoned units first, as we usually do, but in this particular case, in the hopes that the enemy artillery pieces go after them instead of our other units, which will not be instantly destroyed. Anyway, charging forward, Swords of Ulrich will be meeting some enemy units of bleak swords in combat, though that should definitely go in favor of our swordsmen. Even if they do get hit by a few things. Malus is in here as well, causing debuffs and probably killing a few of these guys up, but damn, it does look like the Swords of Ulrich are doing a pretty darn good job, having dropped those weak swords down to half HP very quickly. Though, once again, you do have to remember that there are, that the debuffs from Vigor are pretty darn significant in SFO. Alright, looks like some Doomfire Warlocks are moving in to help, but the rest of our army is nearly here to back everybody up. Doomfire Warlocks moved in on those summoned units of Halberdiers, only to get chased by the Knights of the White Wolf from one direction, and the units of the Wolfkin from the other. Where will you go, Doomfire Warlocks? And there's the Karlberg Great Swords moving in as well, and they should be able to bring you down very quickly. Cool animations, though, you do have. Alright, how's that balance of power looking? About 70% in our favor, certainly taking some time, and the enemy's doing a little bit of damage. We can certainly see the units of the Knights of the White Wolf that charged both of these units, well actually 4 of these units, have taken some damage, mostly though because they went a little bit too far ahead from their supporting melee units. Get those Wolfkin moving in through the ranks, and we can rip those Doomfire Warlocks and Shades apart, I'm sure. Speaking of ripping the Shades apart, our units of White Wolves, or Knights of the White Wolf, we can see all over the place in the back lines are just ripping enemy Shades and enemy range units apart. They've silenced the enemy artillery crews and are just killing off those that remain, and are doing the same thing to the enemy Shades so that they can do very little. In the meantime, Boris Toddbringer, I'm still too used to saying Boris Ursus after a very lengthy Boris campaign back in the day. Boris Toddbringer will be facing off against Malus while we continue trying to fight the rest of Malus's troops, though by the looks of it, the rest of them are ready to shatter. Alright, in the meantime, let's check back on the duel. If the rest of the enemy army has shattered, this is where the battle will be decided. And yes, we could help Boris, and especially considering that Malus is a very tough unit to fight, and that stat disparity is pretty damn high. Minus 39 melee attack on Boris. In fact, he even has less armor, surprisingly. Less armor, less weapon strength, and probably less healing capabilities and damage as well, due to the Tarkan abilities. But Malus was always a pretty darn scary lord to fight, both in single combat and in a blob of units, because he could just heal off of them. Alrighty, how are we doing now? Malus is at about half HP, but Boris is nearly out of that heal, well maybe not nearly out, but 20 seconds left of that healing potion, and is still dropping in terms of his HP. Malus is continuing to use his abilities as well, popping that Bloodstorm to get that damage resistance by 25%, where we are going to help Boris out with a little bit of magic of our own by popping that Viscence Wild Form. That said, he's down to about a third of his HP, he's reached his healing cap, which is near at half HP, and that healing potion is out of the picture as well, though Malus is still fighting and is in fact still very much recovering his HP. Looks like it's time for Boris to go rather than get killed. The healing cap has gone too close to his being ripped apart, and we still have Malus to take care of. He's a scary, scary lord. We are done with Boris's itemization, though we can still at least get skills in his fighty tree. So he can obviously get stronger than he is. Anyway, the Karoberg Greatswords will take care of this with a little bit of help from our Empire Captain. Yeah, we could have had the Empire Captain and the Warrior Priest help Boris out earlier if we really wanted to, but I wanted them to duel, even if it was at Boris closely losing. Finally, Malus goes down to the Karobergs, and with that, the battle is ours. A lovely little fight. Hopefully I didn't accidentally have Boris get so damaged that he'll die to attrition this turn, but we'll see. Obviously the duel is just for fun instead of, well, the optimal thing to do in this particular battle, but frankly Malus is a bit of a hard choice. I mean, if you don't have a lot of range, and we basically had no range other than that summoned unit of handgunners, you can't use blobs of infantry or cav to finish him off, because he'll just heal up off of them and do a lot of AoE damage as well, though I would have to imagine that the, I wonder if the Cav would have been more effective than the Karoberg Greatswords, but they did seem to bring down the remnants of his HP reasonably quick. Anyway, every day a digression. Alrighty, well, definitely credit where it's due. Malus is a heck of a fighter and did manage to win against Boris in a one-on-one, though he didn't manage to kill him, and it's still pretty darn impressive considering that Boris has 2 sources of healing and plenty of ward save as well. That said, he is only level 17 and he does not yet have his fighty tree, so maybe we'll get a rematch at some point before the campaign is over, wherein Boris is a little bit stronger, having actually leveled up, but we shall see. Armor minus 10, but get another 100 armor piercing damage. That's actually a very nice trait. I should try to get that on Karl if possible. Steel standard. It's something, not super necessary, but it's something. And actually, Boris himself does not have a standard, so we should give him a Banner of Eternal Flame or something to power him up even further. Now, question, Boris, can you go out to sea? No, unfortunately, you cannot. Okay. I was hoping that but he can go into a camp stance for some reason. Okay, well, that is fine then. He can just encamp here. I doubt these guys will attack him, but who knows? Who knows? Either way, he'll be fine that way. Now, after Boris was whose move? Oh, I guess Dirk Sido. Sido, would you be able to take the Bilious Cliffs yourself? I don't know. You can at least siege it and give it a try. Hopefully there isn't like a full stack right here to kill you off right after. And no, it looks like you can. Fantastic. I guess the garrison was pretty garbage, so yeah, there we go, and then you can follow after Boris when we hit Black Rock there. Lovely. All of you guys have moved. We should also hunt down Mr. Admiral Leech out there, and shortly trade these territories once we've healed up and once you're done recruiting. Though I suppose we only technically need the lair of the Troll King now. The rest of this isn't super necessary and can go to the Kislevites. Yes. Okay. Let's see what else we need to do / move. Not that we have much in the way of time remaining this episode. I believe that was Boris. Let's see if I can find him again. Once again, wishing for a way to move through the list easier. Vasily Fisher, you are not important. You're just a recruiter here, and we'll probably be getting rid of the Awakening very soon. I'm just waiting for these guys to take a territory that we actually want to trade from them. Hans von Sigurd, you should be... Well, actually, no, you're not the one who should be recruiting here. Wolfric Kolb or somebody else's. Booster does not need to move, but Simon most certainly does. Simon, you're going to head down to... You know what? We march down, see what's the likelihood that there's a full stack here. Do we risk it? I guess not. Alright, fine. Just move in a regular stance down the Mangrove Coast and hopefully to the Dusk Peaks next turn. And if we can take that, we can trade the Mangrove Coast, for example, for the Awakening, which we don't need anymore. In fact, we can actually have you leave to the Star Tower if we want you. Yeah, let's do that. Let's have you leave this place, since you won't be needed here anymore, and to the Star Tower ye shall go instead, so that this place is ready for trading. Alright, who is up next? Okay, this is gonna reset as soon as he moves. Why did they decide to do that? Boris, that's you, and you have moved, is what I mean here. Arndt Frankenwerter, you are who? Oh, right, yeah, okay. Too many follower armies. Their names don't mean as much to me as the armies. Anyway, Arndt Alberic Maternus, Hans von Sigurd. That was the one. I was trying to remember who we were on last. Oh, and Bruno Graber. You are here, eh? Morathi's still out there. You have your war wagons. We get more war wagons. More wagons. Cold Ludenhof. What can you get here? We could waste 2 turns going for greatswords. Otherwise, we should replace the pikemen no matter what. So I think we'll get rid of the 4 pikes, and then we'll go 3 halberds, and 1 unit of huntsmen, just to round out the army a little bit. And of course, this thing reset again. Oh, game, why? Okay, well, I actually wasn't expecting it to reset that time. Luthor Pritzcock with your massive pile of greatswords. You know what, I think that's sufficient in the number of greatswords. You can now instead recruit stuff that'll only take a turn. Well, let's go some huntsmen and crossbows then, shall we? We'll do a nice little mix of the two. Like so, and Wolfric Kolb, you are also recruiting. You could recruit knights if you wanted to. Granted, it said volatile. Oh, wait, you know what we could do? Move you to Quitex. And from Quitex, we should be able to recruit much faster because we don't have the recruitment duration increase, right? Meaning we can get, yes, there we go, now it doesn't take 2 turns. For example, a bunch of Outriders, though they probably wouldn't be super worth it against Rikarth's forces in particular. Maybe some Outriders to knock out some of those monsters since we can't build handgunners here. As in the regular type of Outriders. Yeah, let's do that. And then, who was recruiting our piles of greatsword? There we go. I just wanted a bunch of basic forces to help out against Rikarth while Marcus moves on in as well. I still don't see Rikarth, huh. I guess his main army is actually gone.
Marcus Wolfhart.
But we should still try to catch Balthanol, and we can't do that without moving in an ambush-type stance, so yeah, let's continue. Let's continue. Hans von Sigurd, I believe we did the thing with you. Yes, yes. Bruno Graber, we've done. Okay, Leopold Hall, you're the next one. Oh, no, you're not, because you don't actually need to move. I might rename you to Guardian or something like that, just so I know who never needs to move again. Richel, you need to keep delivering that army, or that unit rather, not really an army to be fair. Colt is good, and just boosters and tech thieves left now. I believe I've done the buildings between the episodes unless I'm mistaken. Was that not this turn? No, this is all transferable stuff. And frankly, a lot of the stuff out here is just not making enough money for us to care all that much about it. And oh, look at that, our trade income is almost matched our building income. Yeah, that's Empire for you. That makes a lot of sense to me. And once again, we're good in terms of territory. Alrighty, so unless I'm mistaken, we can do 2 things. Thing the first, we go to tech, and we pick a new tech. Let's go for Ambassador to the Phoenix King for the miscast chance reduction, since we have Purge of the Night Fears now. Then we can go Garrison Lord not moved, skip unassigned skill points, skip building upgrade and available, not unavailable, outpost available, damn Wissenland. Skip hero not moved, I've moved all the ones that need to move, outpost upgrade available in Kislev. Probably not, just do it. Maybe we should just start upgrading them. I know we still have materials at sea, but frankly we don't have a lot of stuff that we need to build other than the outpost at this point in time anyway, so screw it. Temple of Skulls, just so we don't have to see this at the end of every single bloody turn. Outpost available, yes, Paravent. Outpost upgrade available, Shang. Woo, and that is it. We are actually out of money. Fantastic. I don't believe I've sieged anything this turn, right? I would be concerned if I did, because it would be a waste of a turn. I'm just gonna hope that I did not siege something and then promptly forget about it. I do have a tendency to do that on occasion. On several occasions. Okay, well, whatever. That's on the turn. Turn 99, or about to be at any rate. Oracles of Zinj, please, please don't stop us. World events, settlement besieged. What is that down there? Faction encounter. Oh, yes, right. Tepok Spawn is still alive. Yeah, it looks like that the Poxmakers of Nurgle were never able to essentially kick off. They were never able to get their faction running because they were never able to take Dread Rock from Tepok Spawn and were thus stuck on the Dragon Isles and only have 2 territories. It's kind of bizarre. Not sure I've seen that before, and okay, we have, I did forget a battle, and it was a big battle too. My bad about this one. I guess I'm gonna call this here and then, oh, that's interesting. I did not realize this. Well, I did not realize that the other army wouldn't be, yeah, wow, this is, well, I screwed up pretty big time. This is going to be a tough fight. Helmut Feuerbach, it's going to be do or die for you. I was really hoping to end the turn so I could do the admin between the episodes, but oh well, I guess I'm calling it here. Next time we have Helmut Feuerbach, the first battle for his army, and he's going to fight and try to survive. It'll be a difficult time. Good luck, friendo. Stay tuned to see if he survives next time. All glory to the algorithm. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments, and thanks for watching.